We are here. There we are.
We are here, just like that, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
On
night and happy Thanksgiving. I was talking to you backstage and totally forgot to say happy Turkey Day, Thanksgiving Day, all of the days.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I enjoy my off pay day today. You know what I'm saying? Right. So but happy Thanksgiving to people who celebrate the day. Happy Turkey Day, Happy Fat Day, whatever. Happy ready to spend your money in the next couple hours for Black Friday shopping, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, for me, I'm enjoying my off day with pay to eat food. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm drinking some green tea, peppermint tea, because I ate
You had a
good.
little too much.
The lady did her thing. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing. So,
I
whew,
love that for you and for her. Did were the kids over or are you guys splitting it this
no, no.
season or
She said they mama. I tried to get them to stay, but they didn't want to stay. Well, one did, one didn't. I'm like, you know what? I ain't keeping them hostage. So I sent back to their mama.
not keeping them hostage? I love it. I love it. Are you off tomorrow? Please tell me you're actually also off tomorrow.
I'm off the main job. I'm a hustler, legally a hustler. So I got a side gig I do, but it's later on in the evening, so I'm chilling. So I can just sleep in tomorrow. That's all that
This
matters.
is surprising news to me. We share so much. I feel like I'm out of the loop. We have to talk about it offline. Like what? Is it something that people can support? Is it something we need to be plugging?
Nah, nah, none of me plug in.
Okay, okay,
But as long as
okay.
people keep shopping, it'll keep me employed. So keep shopping, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Unless the sale is it went from $4,000 to $229.95, I ain't buying shit.
Well,
Okay.
some things are like that. So
If I need to be looking at that things because I can't even afford grapes these days. Grapes are expensive.
now how about
Okay.
eggs?
I will tell you, eggs here in Toronto aren't that bad. I can get a carton of 12 for 3.99 and a carton of 18 for 5.99.
Oh
So
yeah,
they haven't gotten to the point where they're like 12 and $20.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
them grapes, a half a bag, when I weighed them, it said like 10.22. I said, oh no, I cannot afford grape and I'm a working busy woman. What in the world? So again, unless the sale went from 4,000 to 229.95, Black Friday is not seeing me. Not Cyber Monday, not Black Friday, not Christmas Tuesday. Like I don't care. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not happening. Like I
Making up
don't.
Tuesday, Christmas Tuesday. What's Christmas Tuesday?
Like people be making things up. Okay, so I'm like,
That's true.
let me make up Christmas Tuesday because what are we talking about? I can't do it. It is not Thanksgiving here, and I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna say a PSA to Americans: stop asking the rest of the world if we're freaking celebrate. Oh, is my titty out of door? Ooh, are my tits just? Were they hanging? Oh, yeah,
No,
me and my sister always. He said titty check, and I was like, hold on, is there something showing on my titties? Oh, they're just doing what they normally do.
that was a setup, and you fell for it.
Because
Good one. That was a good
I
one.
have these, I was like, oh, Mr. I have these things that I make sure that my nipples aren't showing. So I thought that was showing because one show was, and I was like, holy crap, for like 20 minutes. Anyways, I digress. But just a PSA, the rest of the world is not also celebrating Thanksgiving. It's just you guys. Of the 195 countries in the world, America is the only one that celebrates Thanksgiving on the last Thursday of every November. So please stop. You did get he did get me. Please stop asking me if I'm celebrating the holiday. But I digress. Anyways, my week has been not great. I found out I was telling twins that one of my very dear ex-boyfriends passed away in Ethiopia, and I have been struggling to reconcile all of this. So it's been it's been a week. I also want to give a big shout out, okay? A very big shout out to the men and women who go to work 5 days a week and have to leave their homes to do so. As a as a 100% remote worker, I tip my hat off to you. I had to go into the office yesterday after having a long night. As an adult, I should have just gotten off the phone. I was yap yap yappity yapping to someone, and I had to get up, okay, and go into the office and do a bunch of things. I had like 7 meetings, and I came home and I was exhausted
Mm-hmm.
because people wanted to people and people wanted to talk to me, and there was all these meetings, and I had to be personable, and I'm already personable for my job, and I was like, I can't do this. So hats off to you men and women who go into the office, who whether it's just a corporate jobs where you're sitting at a desk or some type of manual labor, because your girl Toshiba over here has zero interest in leaving my home even one day a week. Like I have to do so. Nope, nope, nope. I actually make less money and I'm okay with it. I make less money right now than I did pre-COVID. And I'm perfectly fine with the fact that I get to make that money rolling out of my bed with enough time to get a tea, take a shower, and sit in front of my desk. So
And match
twins, I
this,
salute you.
match this, and how long was the commute?
That's the part. Okay.
That's
I mean it was like 45 minutes, but I was over it. I had to deal with people and I take public transportation because it's just
cheap.
I also gave up my car during COVID.
So let me tell you this. So 45 minutes. How about an hour and change?
Mm-mm.
So after working a long 8 to 10 hour shift, then I got to sit in the road for another hour and a half. Sometimes 2 hours. One time I left work at 4:30. I didn't get home till 6:30 because of traffic.
And yeah, that Atlanta traffic is brutal. I've been in it.
Woo! Tell them. Tell them.
So my hat's off. Like I am very serious. I am very like I just realized I was talking to a colleague of mine and we were just like, our organization is cushy in a way and we get to do super amazing things. I'm in media, so there's always wonderful benefits being with media and rubbing shoulders with the A-list celebrities and all that stuff. But at the same time, let me tell you something. If my CEO tried to mandate us back to work, no. But she just gave up her car. She just sold her car. So we are going nowhere. I go into the office when I want to, not because I have to. And so hats off to all of you, and especially to those who work like hard labor, who have to be in the different elements in order to do so. Like bless you, love you, because it ain't gonna be me. So that's it. Now, I pissed some people off. And Mr. the people are mad at me. They are they are they are mad at me, and I this might be one of the shows that I'm going to be the and not that I'm not honest, I'm probably going to be the most brutally honest I have been, because I will start the show and I tell every person that I date, I am sympathetic, I am not empathetic. Sympathy is the ability to feel sorry for someone who's going through something. Empathy is wanting to put yourself in that person's shoes to better understand why they think and feel and all those things. I am not that woman. Okay. I can feel sorry. I can hug you and make you cry in my arms. I can do whatever, but I am not the person who is going to try to put myself in other people's shoes. And for that reason, it sometimes can be challenging to have me see a viewpoint that I am opposed to. Now, on the show, we're all about respectful discourses, and I will listen to the viewpoints as you guys listen to ours. But I'm never going to be the woman. I'm honest about who I am, who's empathetic to someone's issue. And I say that to say, I done piss people off from a clip that I put out from last week's show. So much so that I didn't read all the comments. Twins is actually going to read the comments from this clip that I put up like probably 5 days ago now, that has garnered thousands of views. And it is a minute clip that I'm going to play. Now, Mr. you were here last week, so you know what the conversation about. It was about 50-50 and whether the fact that women were making more money, if we now need to make change the traditional route of how we see 50-50. And as usual, I share my viewpoints about my life and what works for me. Just like I'm a hiatus, you guys know I don't do the traditional 50-50. It's never going to happen. I would honestly rather do 100% by myself, and that means if I'm alone forever, I'm okay with that. Like I have reconciled that my upbringing with the father that I had, I'm okay with if I get rejected by men just because I won't pay half of the mortgage. I've reconciled that. I will get Queen Nefertiti. We will be okay. Like I'm just not going to compromise on that. And so I made that very clear last week. And I also made a joke that I thought was hilarious. Well, when I put all those things together and put in the clip, I piss people off. So I am going to play the clip. And once the clip is over, Twins is going to read the comments. And then I have a question to pose to all of you. And I am going to sit here and listen. And then once we're done with that, we're going to move on to another topic. So without further ado, let me pull this clip up and show you what pissed off the people. Here we go. 50-50 means different things to different people. When people think of 50-50, they think of we're splitting the bills 50%, like down the middle. But every couple might look at 50-50 a different way. In my relationships, 50-50 was he paid 100% of the bills and I had my role. And my role could be groceries, but my money went to investments. So my money went into the savings accounts, it went into investments. We would talk about stocks, like it went other places. I'm sorry, like you're not sticking your penis in all three of my holes and then asking me, "Hey babe, you got your 50% of the mortgage?"
When you when you paint it like that,
I'm sorry. Well, because when is he gonna ask me? We're gonna have the family meetings to be like, honey, I just want to make sure that your 50% of the mortgage is in the. No, it's not. I guess we're losing the house this month. We're losing the house this week. Sorry. Okay. Now, Twins, read the comments.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So yeah, these comments are very interesting. I'm gonna go straight down. It's not too many, but just definitely enough, right? And some of them make sense, some don't. So we're just gonna let it go. So the first one I have is post-wall losers will always lead younger women astray. Any comment on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't, okay. Nothing he's offering is harder to obtain than a mortgage. They're delusional. She clearly forgot her nostrils. That's before she got.
That was the one I read and I died.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so so there's more than 3 holes. That's my trying to say. Anyway, obviously she is lost. See what she says in 5 years. Keeping score, somebody has to lose. She lost. Who cares what these birds talking about? She don't know anything about investing. She knows how to save her money. That's it. That's all. She didn't have a wedding ring. These women, selfish. 3 holes. What happened to air sex?
That was funny
So
too.
her value is a math equation. Cool. Intercourse has nothing to do with making sure your spouse is straight. Now, granted, mine's was different. God had blessed my late spouse hand to take care of me and our children, but I also helped sometimes, even though he didn't ask. That was crazy saying that. That was crazy. Anyway, move on. Is this shit view real or is it just a skit? Because if this is real, this lady needs a serious psychiatric. Well, this lady's who listened to this BS. Like, what the hell? And then I'll skip what you said. You know, thank you all comments, blah 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 blah. Nothing more.
Yeah.
Anyway, our grandmothers didn't want their daughters, and our daughters trapped like many of them were. I'm gonna say that again. Our grandmothers didn't want their daughters and our granddaughters trapped like many of them were. She is a non FBA and come from an immigrant background. I don't know what that means. But anyway, for all of y'all complaining about somebody just in defense of the whole channel, for all of y'all complaining about how stupid this woman is, remember this is her platform. If you don't like the content, just downvote or block her channel. You don't have to consume the material, you know. And then that's part. The sad part is that this is a topic of conversation had predominantly by black people because men of other races get it. This is why I am extreme advocate of black women dating other. If you can do it, get to it. Too many black men want to be wives, cap, and black women should let them find husbands elsewhere. All right, that's all the comments.
I know, Mr. Bishop, not them coming from my nostrils. So here is the thing. I then had a conversation with someone I am talking to and mentioned the backlash on this. I think you guys are well aware. Most of the men I speak to live on your side of the border. And so he is American, an FBA. And so I found out that FBA means Foundational Black American, and clearly I am not that. So he said that I should be sensitive, okay, and more considerate when we have these conversations because of the divide between the Black American man and the Black American woman, and the fact that what I said could be viewed as rage bait and triggering to Black men who want a certain type of woman and is not able to get her because she is like myself, is unwilling to go 50-50. And he could be a good man, Savannah, but the fact that he is not in a financial position to be a traditional man, which is what I grew up with, a traditional man, um, that is triggering. And so when it is my responsibility on this channel to make sure that, number one, I should have a disclaimer saying that I'm not American and my viewpoints are not that of the Black American woman, just I guess as a Black woman. And number two, I need to be more responsible and say that communication is key, and part of the communication is a topic about financial discussions. And I said bullshit.
Okay. Um, Let me chime in real quick. So I respect everyone's personal opinion, right? That's his opinion. Cool. Um, I'm also an American man. So I don't agree to what he's saying as far as a woman. I don't care where she at, needs to be sensitive how black American men feel. First off, if that's the case, that makes it sound soft, like that make it sound so weak as a man as a whole to say that I
Thank
need to be
you.
sensitive about something like that. I don't agree with that at all. As men, and this has nothing to do about being American or anything else. As men, you have to compete. That's across the board. If you don't work, you don't eat, right? It's competition, everything, sports, school, work, job, whatever it is. And that's across the board. So if there's a certain woman that you want to go after, you have to put your best foot forward. And if this particular woman want these particular things, then you have to meet them. And if you can't meet those things, guess what? Oh well, on to the next one. See, it sounds entitlement, like a man should be entitled to have all 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 holes of you, but do the bare minimum. See, that's the problem that we have right now in the black community right now that we have. We have men or women that's giving these guys the ultimate prize, but these men are doing the bare minimum. So how's that working out right now as a whole? Okay, this ain't got nothing to do about America, Jamaican, Africa, none of that. It's just across the board. Women need to have more standards and make men do more to get the kitty.
That part.
It's just that simple.
The whole
So
point.
this has nothing to do. So look, everything that he said, I don't agree with. And this is not taking a shot at him. I'm just saying that's my personal opinion. I'm a man American. I live here. So, but I don't feel the way that how he feels. And I don't give a damn how any other man feel about sin. If there's a woman that I'm trying to talk to, I'm gonna spit my game, do exactly what I need to do to get her. And if I can't do that, then oh well, I didn't meet, you know what I'm saying? I didn't qualify for her. Just like you got to qualify for certain jobs. You have to have certain accolades to get this position. You just can't walk in and say, hey, I want to be a VP. Or what you have? Oh, I just have a GED. But I feel entitled. I should be entitled.
Thank you.
Make it make sense. What are we talking about,
Thank you.
fellas? What are we talking about
Thank
now?
you. Thank you, twins. Like, I so appreciate that because for my thing, I said, it is not my responsibility to change my personality. Because if you've watched this show for a while, I think I'm freaking hilarious. I think I'm funny. And a lot of the things I say are off the dome. Now, I will admit, when I edit the clips, I do edit clips and put them out to elicit emotion. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you that I don't go, this will be interesting. I wonder how people are going to react to that. However, I don't feel as if I need to consider how someone is going to be triggered by what I say because they're not in a position to do the things that I'm talking about. There are a lot of things that, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels said that should have triggered me. And let me tell you something. I think I watched from the moment I discovered Kevin Samuels. If my ex was here, he'd tell you I probably watched 95% of Kevin Samuels' show, and what I didn't watch live, I watched on repeat. Why? Because there is something that I could learn from what Kevin Samuels said, and the things that applied to me, I was like, that's interesting. Okay, and the things that didn't, that's interesting. Either way, they were both interested. So I just find it hilarious to me that people are offended about how I choose to have my relationships, because I would have understand, twins, if I said this is what every woman should have done. Because if you remember in last week's show, SB said she has no problems going 50-50. And I said, SB, that is great for you. If that's what works for you, I'm happy for you, but it ain't going to happen in my house. My father would spin in his urn. I'm going to be honest with you. My father would spin in his urn if he saw his daughter talk about, I have to go to the bank or I have to transfer money to the joint account. That is how I was raised. It is simply how it is. My father did not approve of one of my fiancés because he said, you're not in a financial position to take care of her in a way that I want you to. So no, I don't want you to take her hand in marriage. And you see, I didn't marry him. God rest in peace to my daddy, who I love. So yes, I think, do we have a responsibility of Black people to be sensitive to what we say in front of others about other Black people? Yes, but I don't need to be sensitive to the feelings just of Black American men because of what you guys are going through with Black American women. Because at the end of the day, to me, a conversation about finances should be happening regardless of what country you live in, what relationship dynamic you have. And if there are people, if someone has made a decision that this is how they want their household, don't get mad at them for that. Just go, great, that's not for me. So I need a woman or I need a man who does this. It's just that simple.
I agree.
But all of the like trying to insult me, I was like, this shit is hilarious. Coming from my looks. Y'all don't know me. Mr. I see that you're making some comments. And okay, sorry. Okay, so I needed to talk about that. Again, I did piss people off. If you're new here, I'm probably going to continue to piss you off. Men, women, and everything in between. Because, and if I do piss you off by my words, then I need you to really think about what you need to work on internally
Of course.
because the word is tough. The world is a tough world. If you are being triggered, if I was triggered by every comment or something I saw online about a black woman or a black woman with a child, and why men don't date women with children, and why women over 40, because I've hit the wall, why I've hit the wall and no one's going to want me, and all of those things, I would never ever go on the internet because I'm all of those things. I'm the woman who's supposed to be on in the thrift market because I'm now 46 and I'm married. I have a grown adult child. Like I have all of these things, and oh my God, like oh, no one's ever gonna. I would be in a corner crying every day if I let the internet dictate to me what kind of life I'm going to have. Don't let me dictate to you what kind of relationship dynamic. If you don't like the relationship dynamic I want, be like, okay, cool. She's not the type of woman. But the problem is, let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is for you trolls that want to comment on me is because when you look at me, your dick gets hard. Let's just call it what it is. Okay. Now I told you I'm going to piss people off. When you look at me, your dick gets hard. And you know for a fact, okay, that you would never get with me. And so instead of just being like in your home, just be like, F that B. And you leave it alone and you close your phone down and you go on. You need to take your Twitter fingers, as my boy Drake says, and comment on my page. But thank you for the likes, comments, and shares because it helps the platform to grow. So keep like, comment, share, subscribe. That is my last comment.
Not the Twitter figures by your boy. That's funny. That's the boy. That's funny.
Okay, so Mr. Mister says, I'm not pissed off, but in hindsight, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, I know the fellas ain't gonna like this. You know what's so funny about it? The clip literally says 50-50 looks different for everybody. The traditional 50-50 is this. But in my
Personal.
last relationship, this is what it looked like to me. And I gave an example. And then I said, I am not having you put da 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 in my holes. That's not it. It is not for me. I did not advocate that it's supposed to be the way for black women or black American women or black
Right.
South American women. I
Right.
advocated that that works for me. So I just need to know, Mr. Mister, why did you think that me talking about my experience and what I want would piss people off? And I'm going to go back to it's because I make their dicks hard. But I digress. We move on. And that's, I'm going to clip that too and put it up. I guess that's rage bait too. Like, whatever. Like, the one thing I did not do is start this show for rage bait. I started this show for conversation, and we are having conversation. I don't put anything out to create rage bait, but I do put things out to elicit emotion because emotions start conversations. We have to feel something and we have to question, why do I feel something? If I feel a certain way about what a man says about why he would never date a divorced woman, let me tell you something. Twins, I don't know if you see it on when you were on the dating platforms, but I saw it many times. There were people in their bios who would say, I don't date divorced women. Literally, not even like not single, like not women with children. Like the women with children was kind of obvious, but a lot of people would make exceptions for me because I have an adult child. But I literally would have somebody say, I don't date divorced women. I don't date bisexual women. I don't date this type of woman. Do you think I went and got, oh my God, I cannot believe, and then match with the person to then turn around and question them and say, why don't you date divorced women? You know, divorced women are great women. No, if you don't, when I would read that, I'm like, I'm a divorced woman. So, and they would like, the only reason I saw it is they would like me. So they would like my profile. It doesn't say divorced on it, But the moment I saw that, I would X them because I'm like, oh, you're describing me and you don't like me. So I'm not gonna match with you to then ask you questions about what you don't like me. It's the same thing. Like the person says, if you don't like the content here, you can always just not watch it. And Mr. Everyone is allowed to want what they want, but good luck getting it. I 100% agree with you. I will never disagree with that. I wish myself good luck all the time because I have a whole lot of strikes against why I may not end up married again. I'm a heightist. We all know that. I'm a heightist. I own it. I only date men over 6 feet, and usually they're about 6'3" and taller. I'm a heightist. I'm probably a weightist. I don't like a large man. I like a man to be in shape. I also like an intelligent man. I also don't want him to have multiple children's mother. There is a ton of reasons why I could maybe do the show for 10 years and not get married again. And I'm okay with that because I want what I want. Simple. And because to not get what I want is going to make me miserable. And I never want to be that woman who is in a relationship that's settled. Because there's nothing worse than a man feeling like he was settled for, or a woman feeling like she was settled for. Do you want to be with a woman who you're just like, you know what? I'm like, oh shit, I'm 45 now. I thought I'd be remarried again. So, you know what? I don't really like Shirley, but guess what, Shirley? I'm gonna settle for you because your boy just is looking for a wife and you're here. Like,
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
I am the first one. I am the first one to tell everyone why I might not get married again. I don't trust me. I just named a bunch of reasons, and it's the huge part is I'm a heightist. Okay, like I just make up words. By the way, I am a heightist. I like my man tall. Well, most of my men have been tall, so that's been my experience. I want what I want because there'd be a nice, lovely 5'9" man who could probably make all my dreams come true. Yeah, but I don't want him. Respectfully.
Do you see the comment, or can you put this comment up? The one that says, "I think the core disagreement is that men are fed up with women wanting something for nothing." That statement by
Let
Mr.
me
Mr.
find it. Um, got it. So I am going to read it. I missed that one, Mr. Sorry. I think the core of the disagreement that men are fed up with women wanting something for nothing. You need to be offering things every stage of the relationship to receive what he offers.
So that statement there, I believe that's what that your friend was trying to convey to you about how really stirred up a little bit, but yeah,
Sorry.
all good. What I guess American men's are yeah, American men's gripe is that women want the world, but um, they bring nothing to the table or nothing out of it. That's going to happen everywhere or anything that you do that people is going to try to shoot for the stars. And there's always somebody stupid or AKA a simp that's going to fall for it and give her everything. I mean, just think about it. We have these celebrities who have it all, right? They have all the money, XYZ, whatever. It's still not enough, right? People they get divorced and all the time. People cheat, XYZ. So at the end of the day, I'll just say this to the men out there: like the woman who likes you,
That part.
go for a woman who wants you.
That part.
Stop reaching for the stars when you know you can't even get turn on the light in your house. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's levels to there's levels to everything up there. Hell, I would love to talk to Kelly Rowling. You know what's going to happen? No, I'm not entitled to talk to her. Like, so I feel that I'm entitled, so she should give me at least an opportunity. No, it don't work like that.
Uh-huh.
It's levels to it. You gotta work hard and do X, Y, Z to get noticed. So maybe you can be in the same room to have the conversation. But if you can't get in the same room as these women you talking about, stop chasing them and stop chasing the same woman that every man wants. And the woman and this air code circle woman that want the world, that's because your brother, not your actual brother, but you know what I mean, your other men that you may know are simps enough, they give her those XYZ, so they get delusional in their head, think that, well, if I can get it from this dude, then every man I talk to afterwards is gonna do it. Okay. If you fall for that, then that's on you. It's just that simple. I don't understand why these, and I'm not trying to take a shot at man, but it sounds very entitlement, very sensitive. Our XYZ is like, well, I'm gonna comment. She's selfish. You're selfish because your preference, you don't want to go 50 fit with a guy, right? But he want to run me through the washer and dryer, and I still gotta come out and pay half on sit.
And cook and clean and iron his clothes and potentially be a stepmother to his kids
All
and
that,
support his dreams and all
all
the things that I'm supposed to do.
all that's inside our washer. That's how you feel clothes in the washer.
Mhm.
Hard,
Mhm.
it gets washed together, and it
Mhm.
thing, same concept. So unfortunately, it's good that you had these standards. I wish most women out there should have standards. Hell, I'm gonna raise my daughter to have standards as well. You just can't give everyone everything. So what? He drive a nice car. He looks cute. Baby girl, that's not enough. He'll be gone tomorrow. Once you get pregnant and fat, boom, guess what? He'll find the next young, pretty, tight thing that's out there available. Don't fall for that. It's the core rule that we in. These men, this is what you need to do. Put your head down, read some books, get focused, lock in. Once you become the man that you're supposed to be, the woman will come running to you. You to
That's
be
right.
trying to chase the woman, you need to chase the money, chase the bag, chase whatever you need to do. They'll fall. They will always be there. There's
That's
always
right.
a new manufacturer, 18-year-old every day being going to the next level. I'm just saying.
I'm, I'm done.
Just
Fucking
saying.
manufacturing. Listen, and again, you're a dad, and I had a really good dad. My dad would have, if my dad would have said it a little bit differently, but my dad is very clear about what he expected from his daughters, and he had seven of us. So that man was giving advice all over the place. So again, I pissed you guys off. I don't apologize for my feelings about how I want to live my
Right.
life. And if that offends you, then you need to think about, because nothing about how somebody else wants to live their life is going to be offensive to me. I'm going to say good luck and I wish you the best. But we move on. We move on. I
Yeah.
do. I do have something else I want to talk about because again, out of a conversation with the gentleman I was talking to, um, he found it interesting that at my big age that I find it necessary to clarify roles in a relationship in terms of he thought it was interesting that I said in order for me to move to the next level of a relationship, I need a man to ask me, right? If we're going from dating to you want me to be your girlfriend, I want you to ask me. And of course, I think we understand engagement and all of that other stuff. He said he had never been in a situation with a woman that she needed him to ask, and it was just understood when they were hanging out and kicking it and talking all the time and all of that stuff that they were in a place. And I said, good for you, because it
That is
ain't happening over here. That is, I thought it was idiot. If I respectfully, I thought it was idiotic. I said, well, that's the reason there is a bunch of women in relationships with single men. I've said this on the show over and over again. I am never going to be the woman in a relationship with a single man because I thought because he's giving me time, attention, and his dick, that means that we're in a relationship. Until that man says to me, Toshiba, love what we've got going on here, and I want it only with you and you to have it only with me, we are not in a relationship. I'd love to hear your thoughts because I thought it was idiotic.
Yeah, that's dangerous to assume because we're hanging out and kicking it that we're in a relationship. Listen, I can kick it with you all day,
All
XYZ.
day,
You feel
all
like
day.
hey, feel like you the queen XYZ. And then when I'm not with you, I'm doing the same thing with the girl over here. And she feel the same way, right? So both y'all got the same energy feeling that we're kicking it, nothing's being said until I'm out in public. And guess what? Both y'all are just I'm with you, she with her. You see each other, now the shit blew up in my face. Because you know why? No one had the no one was adult enough to have the conversation because
Bingo.
that's what it is communication. That, hey, here's we are in a relationship. Hey, at this moment, I'm not ready to move forward in a relationship, but we can be friends, XYZ, kick it. If that's not cool with you, I understand you fall back. Give that
Hmm.
person the opportunity. If they want to stay there, cool. So you see me with someone else, you ain't gonna trip. You know why? 'Cause we had a conversation. You know where we at. But that is so dangerous to assume that me and you are
That part.
something because we
That
kick.
part.
That don't mean nothing.
Nothing at all.
No, no.
Nothing. Not how many women have babies for men they were never in a relationship with, who thought they were in a relationship, so they were giving all of themselves, and now the man was like, "I didn't want to be with you, much less have this baby." Like,
They
who told you that? And it was because they were kicking it
was kicking it. How many women did you know out there that have babies by one guy and they have kids all around the same age?
because he was kicking it with all of them.
He was kicking it with it, you know. No, 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 no. We need to be very clear and concise as far as where we stand and where we at in the relationship these days. You sit here and acting like everything's cool, and this is the outcome you get out of it. So I say, I wouldn't say good for him because clearly he's in the same age bracket as you as well. We're in our late 40s, so I'm pretty
And
sure. So the fact
he's
that
same age as me.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not trying to get too detailed, make it personal, but the fact that has he one other question. Has he been married ever?
Yes, he's been married and he's divorced now.
Divorced. I'm gonna leave
Clearly.
that alone because I ain't trying to. I'm gonna leave that alone. But all I'm gonna say is this: communication is very important. Simple as that. You have to be clear. If you want to know where you at and where it's going, have the conversation because then that's where things get shaky at.
And that would be my advice to ladies. Stop. And I think this is the danger zone for us. And listen, I am a good time. I am again, I think I'm hilarious. So I think I'm funny. I think I'm all those things. And I have a lot of guys who want to give me attention, time, to Twins' point earlier about, kind of date in your bracket. They want to fly me out to this, there, and the next where, and all of this different crap. Do I assume because a man who has financial means wants to spend financial means on me that we're in a relationship?
Oh,
No. You know what my assumption is? He wants to fuck. He just wants to fuck in a different city or a different country on silk satin sheets with high thread counts. Okay, it's like I don't assume, okay, that oh my God, it's because I'm so fascinating and amazing, and I have this great conversation that he's doing this. Until that man says again to Sheba, I want to be with you, you want to be with me, or exclusive, because I then if he does something that is outside of the confines of what a relationship should be, I can call him out on it. But while we're kicking it or going with the flow like we're water, I don't have a right to say anything about anything. I don't get to get mad about anything. Nothing. Nothing's supposed to faze me. If I see him with that lady outside, like you said, I don't get to get mad because we're flowing, kicking it.
we're just a vibe. We're vibing.
We're vibing. It's just a vibe.
What is that?
To, what is this? Like, what is this? I was like, what are those? What are those titles? Those are not titles. So no, don't do that. Like, and I get it. It's funny. The best part about it is, which I did appreciate, he was honest with me and he said, but because you desire it, I will give it to you. And that's what I will tell you, ladies. A lot of us are going with the flow because the man says, oh, like, let's just kick it. Let's just go with the flow. Let's just do whatever. And because you want that man so very desperately, you're doing all the things that he wants because you want him. Not over here. Listen, as much as my greatest fear is dying alone, I'm content with it. I actually really like my own company. I just came. Again, that clip was me in a vacation in Cuba with my braids in because I took myself on a solo vacation because I happen to like my own company. So therefore, if God forbid and the heavens up above, my dad and my stepdad who have passed away are not conspiring to get me a new husband and I have to get a cat, then I'm just going to be fine with it because my standards are going to stay intact. And what I do tell men are what my expectations are. I communicate very clearly, ladies. These are my expectations. Here's what I want out of a relationship. Here's how I see my life in the next 3 years. Here's the intentions that I have when I'm talking to someone. I don't have sexual relationships with men that I'm just dating or kicking it with. Okay, I make these clear, and it's either the man is going to rise to the occasion or he's going to fall back. But a lot of us are so scared of the fall back, the lean back, okay, away from you, that you end up in situations where you're kicking it. And when Thanksgiving comes, you think that you're going to be sitting there at the table with his big mama, and your ass is alone with your cat.
Or dog.
Or dog. Well, because you know how many women that happened to this at Thanksgiving. You know how many women thought that they were going to be spending Thanksgiving with their man.
That's some good tea right here.
Okay,
Man. Mm-hmm.
they thought they were going to be eating sweet potato pie from grandma and macaroni and cheese from his big sister, but they were at home kicking it just because they were going with the flow because that's what that man said. And that man is probably with a woman who said, "You know what? Is this what you think we're going to do? Well, I'm not flowing with you, baby. So if you want this from me, know what I need from you."
I know a few females right now that's doing Thanksgiving alone, but they actually have somebody that they're talking to, but they're the person to talk to went to visit their family. I'm just like, God dang, why you not going with him? Especially if you ain't doing nothing. I left it alone. I said, but you just kind of put a point right now, what you just said.
And I'm just going to put which goes back, Mr. Bissett, which goes back to my recurring point. Just because a man F's you does not mean he wants to. It simply means he enjoys the pleasure of his peen on his peen that you give him. And again, I understand that standards can be a difficult thing, but I have proven time and time again. Even I will go back into my 20s. I remember dating this, surprise, surprise, this ball player. So I dated this ball player. The man was fine. Like the man was like 6'6", just fine. I mean, they usually are fine. So I remember him taking me out and me standing beside the door, like waiting for him to open it because that is what I'm accustomed to. Because again, that's what my daddy did. I remember he looked at me and then he walked around the car and came and opened it. I went in, he closed the door. And as we were going through the date, there came a point where he said to Sheba, "Do you know that no woman has ever expected that of me? No woman has ever expected that I open their doors or all those things. But because I know you expect it, I will do it for you."
Standards. Standard. That's
And
all.
this was a man that would have gotten away. Again, my ex I started the show with, another former ball player, 6'9", all the stuff. He used to tell me the things that he would get away with from women because they were just so excited and happy to be with him that they would lower their moral compass. Lower their moral compass to be with that man. Not over here. We're not about to do that.
But
And if it means being alone, okay. Sorry,
once-
twins.
no. That's fine. I mean, it's a statement that's been said all the time. Women will do the things for men that they want. If they want this man, they'll do whatever they want. Just that simple.
But the
It's
reverse should also be said. Men will go, like you always say, men will run and walk through walls for
for
the
the one.
woman they want.
That's a fact too. So the thing is, the goal is be that person that they want. Ladies, find the man that's the guy who want to run through walls for you. Ladies, find the man that's going to hold you to your standards or agree to your standards, whatever it may be. That's it. It's not that hard. It's not that
You
hard.
would think.
I think I gave
You
like 3 or 4 dating tips already tonight.
right? We killing it tonight. But you would think it's not that hard. But for some reason, this dating thing is so complicated because there are so many shows, not quite like ours, because ours is unique in its own way. But there's so many shows having to give relationship advice when I actually think relationships are not that hard. But the problem is, I think we, one, aren't setting boundaries anymore. We
Right.
don't have standards, and we're not setting expectations. And things are just so easily accessible. For women, a lot of men's money is easily accessible. To your point, right? Like men offer me things all the time, like trips and bags and shoes and trips and more trips because traveling is my love language. And women offer sex in exchange for bags and shoes and trips. Right there, it is so easy. I mean, I think I told you the story recently. A couple of months ago, a guy asked me. He said, "Here are three countries. Choose one. I will fly you out to them." And my first question was, "Do I get my own room?"
I like that one.
And that's essentially how I think he sent me some laughing faces emojis. And he was like, "Why would you need your own room?" I said, "Because I do not have sex with men I'm not in a relationship with." And we went on like a couple of dates. And I think he saw like a picture of me and he liked the picture. And then all of a sudden the comment came. And I was like, "No, like I don't get down like that." And he was like, "Cool." We never talked about it again because it was very clear I wasn't getting my own room. And he wanted to again bend me over on a balcony in the Saint Martin. Okay? I was going to be bent over in Saint Martin on a balcony if I accepted that trip. And because of who I am and where I am in life, you know what? In my 20s, I would have been bent over on the balcony. I'm not going to lie, in St. Martin. At 30 something and 40 something, no. I've grown and evolved, and I'm not going to be bent over on anybody's balcony because my intentionality was not the same in my 20s, even though I got married in my 20s, right, as I was in my 30s and 40s. And again, and I think a lot of women feel as if they say no, that I just lose the man entirely. And sometimes you will,
Actually, that's probably a good thing
that part.
because the guy who really wants you, he's gonna be intentional. So losses and gains, pick and choose.
Thank you. Not every loss is an actual loss. Some is the gain pushing you towards. Because again, I go and I take that trip because I do like to travel. Again, traveling is my love language. I love to get. I realized that this year I've been on 5 flights. I've taken 5 flights, and I'm thinking about another one in December if I can squeeze it. This was like my fifth time getting on a plane, going outside of my own country, not flying to Miami, right? Leaving my own country and getting on flights because I love a good flight. So I could have easily taken that trip and have that man cover everything. But I knew that that's not what I wanted. So I would have rather said no or asked the question I asked than end up in a situation that I have yet another body. Because, ladies, here's the thing. Do you people ain't gonna like this, but every man we let enter us, they leave a little bit of themselves behind in us.
Message. Talk to him. Talk to him. Go ahead.
And I want you to Google it. Don't believe me? Google it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't say shit on the show I don't know. I am well read and well versed, and I do research. So every man we let enter us, okay? Because their come and our come are not the same come. When we are having our moment, it's not the same when they're having their moment. Okay, two different moments. And every single one of them that we let sweat on top of us leaves a little bit of their DNA inside of us. I am telling you, you guys can Google it. If you guys don't believe me, Google it right now and tell me I'm wrong in the comments. And I'm telling you can't because I'm right. So as we get to this right big age of women in our 30s and 40s, and we think that we can play the same game that we were playing in our 20s, when we had a low body count, where you might have been with like 3, 4 men, you do not want to end up in your 30s and 40s having DNA of all of these men left behind that your body isn't necessarily going to purge. So if you still want to play them game in your 40s, talking about, yeah, I can get the food now and I can go to this and I can do that. And I'm women empowerment is me being able to, get with a man and do what I want. Good luck, because they're all leaving something behind. You leave nothing behind. Nothing. We leave literally nothing behind, but they're all in us. Oh, think about that. Think, like, seriously, think about the fact that every time it's just a little bit of that man's DNA is left inside of you.
And some of the DNA or some of the men y'all can't even stand right now. But guess what? He's still there
Still there.
for, for life.
And then there, and then let's not forget, ladies, the ones that are throwing off our pH balance, because it does happen. Again, if you don't believe me, Google it. There are men who throw off their cum is incompatible with us, and it throws off our pH balance, which means that your nether regions ain't smelling like they should be smelling, because this man's actual cum is incompatible with you. But y'all just running around talking about, oh, I can do this and I can do what the men do. No, we cannot. We are not the same. I'm going to preach this over and over again. We can't do what the men do. We can't run around like the men do. We have to be very clear about what we want. And if a man says no to your standards, then he's doing you a favor, like Twin said earlier.
All facts. No lies detected. Message.
So give me all the backlash. I will piss people off left, right, and center. If it means that one woman or one man looks at himself and says, you know what? I can't get what I want right now because I'm not in a position to be able to offer or to receive. Let me go put myself in that position. And it means that one less man or woman is ruined by that person going into their life and creating turmoil. I will take all of the hate on this world wide web if just even one person, and I've saved more than one people because people do DM me and tell me how much my advice has meant to them and how they've changed their mindset. So I will take all of the pissing the people off and all you trolls and all of that if it means that one person is communicating and being very clear about their boundaries. That's it. That's all I want. So for a man to tell me that, hey, no one's ever expected that of me, but I'll give it to you, ladies, see how that works for you. Because if a man said, that's what you want, I'm not going to give it to you, okay, cool. Bye. End of conversation. I am not in the business of convincing somebody to be for me what they don't want to be for me.
Say that again.
I am not in the business of convincing someone to be for me what they don't want to be for me.
Message.
How many? Because I know, Twins. Tell me you haven't dated women who you just knew. She's cool, but she ain't it. But she's somehow, whether through words or actions, tell them about it. Tell them what happens when these women try to convince you that they're the one when you know they're not the one. Go on.
Well, that's where the roster comes in. That's how my team gets formed. And that's how, rotation happens. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you it ain't gonna work out, but you still want to stay here, cool. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing with you while I'm over here doing this. I'm not saying it's right, but it's the game that we play. And the one thing I keep saying and still keep saying till I turn blue in the face. Men will do things that you will allow us to do. So you wonder why we keep you on the string for so long? Because you allow us. We can tell you directly up front, I don't want XYZ. And you'll still be delusional here and still try to do everything you can possibly to still be in the picture. When I already told you it's not going to work out. Just saying.
That's Mr. saying too. Yes, people waste too much time going for people that don't really like them. And I truly believe that, like, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And that goes for relationships and jobs. Go where you are celebrated, not just tolerated. There are a lot of people who are being tolerated in supposed relationships that they're in. They're not even in relationships. How in the world am I going to know if I went from the talking, dating to relationship stage if a man doesn't sit down and have that conversation with me? And listen, we have talked about communication on the show until we're blue in the face, but we're going to keep talking about it. Okay? Communication is key.
It is.
Let me tell you something. I watched Pop the Balloon this afternoon as I am busy at my desk, you know, what I do because I work remotely, right? I'm busy at my desk reviewing resumes. I
Yeah.
had Pop the Balloon on in the court. Listen, working remotely, the best thing ever. So I pop the balloon on and I'm doing my work. And this guy asked the question, when was your last relationship? Blah, blah, blah. And the woman's answering. And she basically said, yeah, if we can call this a relationship, it was like and ended like a few months ago, whatever she said. And she said, I was in a 3-year relationship that I didn't know I was in. And the guy said, hold on, what? He said, he walked back. He was like, hold on, what? She said, yeah, I was talking to this guy and I thought we were friends, but he saw it as a relationship. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm a 90s girl. How, Sway? Why? Because there was no communication. How? 3 years? How?
I already said it already. I ain't gonna say it no more.
So this idea that, and again, I'm gonna go to, if you weren't here, why I pissed off the internet, as per the title, I pissed off the internet because I dare to say what kind of relationship works for me and what I want and how my relationship is gonna be. But I'm gonna actually challenge every single one that watches this show, whether you like me or you don't like me or so forth, to sit down and communicate clearly with the person that you want to be with and see what comes out of that. Because some of you are either going to go closer together or some of you are going to save each other a whole bunch of headache and heartache down the line because you're going to realize you don't even like each other. There are a lot of people who are having sex that don't like each other.
Or a lot of people just doing this for survival.
Oop,
You know,
talk about it.
as we began the show, we talked about grapes for what? $12 a pound now? Was it?
Yes. $12 grapes are like $5.99, $6.99 a pound. You put them down and there's 10 in there and they said $12. Who
So
can afford this?
with that being said, there's people just being with other people because for survival. Not because they really like them, because it's the best thing I can get right now. So I'm just gonna settle for it, and here we are now. Yeah. We had a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, it'll be for the best for everybody. Versus later on, don't be the girl on Papa Loon talking about, well, 3 years, I didn't know I was in a relationship. What is that?
It was
Really?
insane. It was insane. Or the people going on in public talking about they don't like their children's father or their children's mother, and that
Oh no.
it is a lot online telling people that, and your children can see. Your children, like, the internet is forever, like Cardi says, forever. Your children can go back and see stuff and realize my mother and father don't even like each other. Like, how does that even make sense?
People are out here having kids with people they only like. Imagine that.
Having someone on top of you sit, like, it baffles my mind. And so you don't have to like my approach about how we I do relationships. With the one thing I will tell you, none of the men I date are surprised about what I want, because I tell them. And I'm not saying anything to offend anyone, but I'm very clear about what I want. As men should be very clear about what they want, because I've said this and I will say this again. A lot of men are out there dating women who have nothing to lose, but will help them lose
Every
everything.
That's it.
We only need examples of just look at the NBA and see how much of those young players are out there. I can think of two right now who got with older women who straddled them with babies and their prefrontal cortex aren't even developed. I could be their mama. One of them is had a baby for one, and her son is only 2 years younger than the man she had a baby for.
Come on now.
Again, getting with women who have nothing to lose but will help them do everything. Another one had a baby, paid that woman out $1 million, and
Mm,
she came back and said, what's she supposed to do with that? Because
imagine that.
apparently it takes $1 million to raise a kid for 18 years. You already have $1 million. You can make more, have a job. But no.
That's too much like rape. They want more money.
So you're telling me that you don't want to communicate, and communicating is going to be triggering because I trigger people when I talk. But listen, the two reasons people break up are infidelity and finances. Those are the two main reasons for divorces: infidelity and finances. Finances is number one, actually. Women will get over infidelity for a man who has money. You I'm sure that's not news to anybody, but if it is, you heard it here first. Women will get over infidelity for a man who has money. So it's not the infidelity, but a woman may not stay with a man who goes broke.
Mm. See, now we're talking. See, that's the real talk right there. People ain't ready to have that conversation.
I probably will piss people off when I put this clip out too, and that's fine. If it makes people have conversations, I'll piss you all off every single week. But let's be clear. So when we're talking about, oh, we can't have communication about finances because it triggers men, because get the hell out of here. If you do not know how this woman approaches finances, what this woman's credit score is, what kind of debt she has, if she will leave your ass if she has to go 50-50, if she will leave your ass if you do not have a job, if she will leave your half if you get downsized, if she will, these are real questions. Just like
Right.
a woman needs to know, am I marrying this man for who he is today or who I want him to be? And do I actually take for richer or for poorer for real? Because if he gets poorer, do I still want him? Or am I prepared? Am I prepared if he loses his job to pick up the slack? Are we going to be prepared financially? Because I would rather not invest my money like I said I would with my money. I would rather go to the mall and buy Coach and Gucci and Prada while he does that. Like, you should be having these conversations. There should be no surprise, ladies, when you get with a man who wants to go 50-50, or you get with a man who believes that, you know what, I love you, but I do want to have some women on the side. None of this should be a surprise because you should be talking about it. I'm sorry. I don't know why you're all are just getting into bed and not having real deep conversations. I've literally had men talk to me and say to me, you know what, Toshiba, I've actually either never been asked this or never told a woman this because I didn't feel the need to tell them something they didn't ask me. And
Come
so
on.
I ask all kinds of questions. I ask all kinds of questions. And I don't care. I actually don't care because I'm looking at, no one is looking out for you than you, men and women. Men, stop thinking that as women are just looking out for you and necessarily your best interest. When we do not know you, we do not care about your best interest. I don't know you, stranger person. Why would I care about your best interest? I care about my best interest. When I care about you, when I love you, I care about your best interest because that's what love is. Love is actually caring about someone outside of yourself. But when we are just dating, I do not care about your best interest. I don't know if this is a surprise to anybody. Like, ladies, that man does not care about your best interest when he's just getting to know you. He's looking at you for what he wants from you. As he gets to know you, he begins to care about you and he begins to care about your best interest. But on those first initial meeting and maybe some of those first initial conversations in those first initial days, he don't give a fuck about you. He doesn't know you.
It's all that initial attraction.
Don't be Risa Tisa. Oh my God. Speaking of recent teaser, this is the last thing I'm gonna leave it on. There is this new thing they call the Danish deception. Have you guys heard about the woman from The Bachelor? I think her name is Onika, and she's done a 25-part series. So apparently, she thinks she's going to be the next Risa Tisa, of how her Danish husband. She's a Black American woman. Well, she's not. Her background is Nigerian, but she was born in America. How her Danish husband took her and her family for over $300,000. And he created this entire lie. She married him, the whole gamut, and he took her dad, her sister, another friend. He borrowed $200,000. All of this stuff, and she saw all of the red. Listen, I saw the red. They didn't need to be 25 parts. It could have been 15 minutes, just like Risa Teesa's didn't need to be 15 parts or 50 parts. It could have been 20 minutes. And I would have told you, hey, maybe you should ask some questions. Hey, maybe you should use Google. Let me tell you something. I trust but verify. For the men who I've dated who watch this show, I'm actually gonna tell my secret. I ask for every man's first, middle, and last name and their date of birth. Yes, because I want to know. Yes, because I do put it in my notes. Okay? Any guy I'm dating, I actually make notes on you. I make notes on the names of your children when you give them to me, their ages. Like, I make notes if I'm interested because I want to go back to those notes, because sometimes that's how I gift you. When I'm giving you gifts, I might gift you based on the notes. You like a certain team. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like the names of your kids. I make notes on you. But I also ask your first, middle, and last name and birthday so I can Google you. I want to verify that the information you are telling me is correct. So I Google you. And if you don't have a middle name, sometimes it becomes a little bit more difficult, but the birthday helps, and where you lived and where you grew up. So I have found people's political affiliation. I have found their addresses for the last 15 years. I have found who they are related to. I've even found with the most recent guy, I was able to Google zoom in to the address that they gave me and saw his truck in the driveway. I just don't know his license plate.
Hey,
Trust but verify.
what you got to do?
Trust but verify. So women coming online talking about they were bamboozled by a man who told them things that were verifiable and Googleable. It's the same thing, men. It's the same thing. You can Google women. If a woman tells you she's a certain thing, and let's actually go back to the ladies. Ladies, if a man says he's in corporate and he has this big title, most corporate men, whether they control it or not, they have a LinkedIn profile. Okay? They're on LinkedIn. No major corporate man who's a director, CEO, VP, executive vice president, all of those things does not have a LinkedIn profile. If he doesn't create it, then somebody in the marketing department, this is some tea for you ladies who don't know this, someone in the marketing department will actually create it for them, because they need their people to have presence on LinkedIn. And so LinkedIn is a great place to go to check. He says that he's this, Risa Tisa, then all you have to do is go on LinkedIn.
Come on now.
LinkedIn will tell you. I Google everybody. Google. Make notes. Don't get bamboozled in the street. And how do you find out information? You communicate. I've even found out people's salaries. They don't know that I know. But depending on what kind of line of they work, there are public servants' salaries are online. Just in case you didn't know. There are certain professions where their salaries are online. If your person works for a publicly traded company, it is most likely that their salary is online. So when you think that you're dating this man with all types of money, and he says he does, you can actually Google it. If you think you're dating a woman who says she's all of those things or whatever, it's Googleable. It's not that hard. I'm dead. Okay, so this is the last comment I'm going to make. Mr. Getty, your dating tips ready. If anybody, I see some people are watching online on IG, get your dating tips ready, and I will think about my dating tip because, oh Lord, I don't know if I have one. Mr. and Mrs. said the notes part, not the digital stalking slash background check part, but I am well aware of how much personal info is available on the internet. You call it digital stalking, I call it protection. I am serious. I am responsible for protecting myself. And I am not going to go on the internet for blaming a man for fooling me when I didn't ask questions. Period. It is literally asking questions. Ladies and gentlemen, too many of us are getting into these situations talking about we're going with the flow. Okay, we're going. Oh, this is my shirt wanting to come off. It's clearly time for me to go. We're going with the flow, and we are flowing into situations that are harming us. So stop going with the flow and actually research and verify. I am in no way ever going to be sitting here on the show and telling you guys, oh guys, I got bamboozled by this guy I was dating because he said XYZ and I found out that he had a wife and 5 kids. All that shit is online. And you don't even need to get a PI. There's so many sites. You literally first, last, and middle. And if you want, put the date of birth. If they have a common name like a Smith or something like that, an Anderson last name, you put the date of birth. You find out where they were born. Where were you born? Not just where you live. Oh, where were you born? Where did you grow up? Where do you have family ties? Tell me more about your parents. Okay. Oh, what was your mom's name? Oh, really? That's so interesting. What about your dad? Were they married? How long were they married? What was it that I am so interested in you, but I am also doing intel because I have to protect myself. I am not about to be out here letting people on TikTok know that I got scammed by some man. But I digress. It is time for a dating tip because I actually have to think of my twins. Go first.
No problem. So my dating tip will be honestly, this whole show, we said multiple tips and things you should be aware of, and just watch the episode again. That's my dating tip.
Oh my God, I love that. Please watch the episode again. My dating tip, very simple. Communication is key. Even when it's uncomfortable, you're going to have some uncomfortable communication when you really are serious about being in a relationship, especially a relationship with that particular person. Sometimes you're going to have uncomfortable conversations, but in the uncomfortable conversations is going to lead you to determine whether or not this is someone you want to spend your life with. We are in our 40s, ladies and gentlemen. For those of us in your late 30s, and definitely for those of you in your 50s, if you are not ready to have these types of conversation, you're either not ready to be in a relationship or you're not ready to be in a relationship with that person. When you really like someone, no matter the question, no matter the topic, you will be open and honest in it. And if you find that you're having a difficult time, maybe it's either you're not ready for dating or you're not ready to date them.
Yep.
So communication is key. Make sure that you're having the right conversations about the right things so that you're not on divorce court or on the internet telling a 25-part series about how some man scammed you out of money and your vagina. That is my dating tip. I'm seeing if Mr. Mister has a dating tip. He hasn't put it up yet, but I will read Mr. Mister's last comment here. Give me a second. Let me put it up. Did it go up? It didn't. I don't know why it's not going up. Hold on. Okay, here it is. He says, I don't blame anyone for doing all of that and that he was talking about the digital research, but don't do all of that and still make a horrible choice. That is fact. Now, Mr. Mister's dating tip, he says, give to receive, be realistic, and be the type of person that the person you want wants. That's it. That's all. Life is so much easier. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everybody who liked, shared, subscribed. I appreciate the comments, good, bad, and indifferent. I have a very thick skin. It's very difficult to get under my skin, even in my worst of times, people. So try if you may, but the more you comment, the more our algorithm reaches out to people. So please like, share, subscribe. comment, good or bad. Every week we put the link in the comment section. So if you ever disagree or you want to have respectful discourse with me, this is an open platform in order to do so. So please come on and let's have those discussions. Do not hide behind your keyboards. Actually come and we can have a conversation. That is it from me, twins. Final words.
Ditto.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much. My shirt just broke, my dress just broke, so clearly it is time for me to go. Okay, goodbye.